Good morning, day or night. Welcome to Foreshadowing, where we happen to talk about films that have not happened yet. I am HIRAM, and once again I'm joined by
Dan, your captain.
and
Mr. Chuck.
and today we're here to talk about another movie that is coming out next February, or in a few weeks, depending on when you're listening. Maybe it already came out, but as our previous episode, it's the third and hopefully final chapter to an otherwise awful movie series. And we're talking about 50 Shades Freed.
I don't like this, bro.
Why
cool.
not? Alright, don't worry, man. Next week we have something better. But, to give you some context, the 50 Shades series was, as I understand, based on a fan fiction of a woman who wanted to, get weird with
I think she
vampires.
was sexualizing, like, Twilight.
Yeah, something like that, no?
But she was writing it on her BlackBerry.
Because Blackberries were popular kids.
And she, like, somehow managed to get it out and people liked it. And she somehow wrote more of that. It was weird. It was its own thing.
It's weird, yes.
It's weird, and really the main appeal of the books is just the.
Why can't you go to your computer and search for porn? It's literally the same, but porn is good.
Yes, but women usually enjoy erotic novels, so.
That's a stereotype.
Yes, but, well, speaking of technical aspects, 50 Shades Freed, director James Foley, and as main cast, we know nobody. We just know that the main actors have no chemistry, neither on or off screen. But well, that's not for us to judge. We're here to talk about what the movie will possibly be. And so, beginning with Act 1, how do you think the movie starts?
Wedding.
Oh, that's right, the wedding.
You know, like, it's this big event and transition between the two characters that many people have seen across the two films, where they're like, well, this is a booty call and let's get laid and shit. And somehow they manage to say like, well, this is a thing now, we're going to get married and it's going to be more serious and we're finally getting serious. And
Because, I mean, you can only be so kinky for so long without any sort of commitment or some issues regarding that.
I don't trust. It's weird.
Yeah?
I mean, the whole writing is weird. Like, why would you marry the guy that first started beating you, then you didn't want him to beat
Because
you?
you like it. I mean, you like that you're getting.
You like
beat
it
up.
rough, man.
Yeah,
That's like the whole essence of Anastasia.
and I don't know what the second movie is about.
Well, like, the second movie is about how they get together again.
After
Because-
they split up in the first
Because,
movie.
yeah, if you remember at the end of the first movie, she's like, "Hey, I don't want you to hit me anymore," and he's like, "Hey, but I still want to hit you," and she's like, "No, I don't like it anymore." And then, like 2 years later in the second movie, she comes back and she's like, "Hey, I want you to hit me again," and
Damn, that's
Wait, is it
that's
true?
weird, man.
Is it real that in the second movie she's like, well, now I want to hit you, and he's like, oh damn.
well, that I don't remember really, but
Okay. It's just that
yes.
I had the doubt.
Well, so we begin with the wedding. In the trailer, because I insist that's the only thing we have seen of the movie, there appears to be someone hanging from a chandelier. It might be just a dress, but, well,
Yeah, it's just a dress. It's not that violent.
maybe that's foreshadowing.
Uh-huh.
A possible ending to the story, but, well, we'll get to that later. So, it's the wedding. I assume that all...
there's going to be a wedding and a honeymoon, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but I mean, I assume that in the wedding there will be characters that have been, like, antagonizing the couple. Like, I don't know, I think his mother is an important character, but I might be mistaken, man. I don't know. You've seen the movies.
I really don't remember
Well,
the plot of the movies. I just remember
the kinky stuff.
the kinky scenes.
Okay.
Right?
Like,
That's why everyone watches it.
It's like, you know, the only thing I like about this series is how they kind of incorporate the
kinky stuff.
kinky scenes with the music
But
and all the stuff. Like that's kind of
fun.
well done.
Oh. But I understand, like the movie is like 2% of all the kinky stuff that the book tells. I mean, like, the book you need.
Oh no, bro. Trust me. The book is way too graphic.
You've read it?
Not completely.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I was like,
Oh, man.
how bad can this thing be? And I was like, oh, damn.
God.
That's beyond my imagination. I mean, how can somebody have that potential to put all those words and make it so fucked up?
Yes, it's... Well, that could be another sort of episode or show. Speaking of the... Yeah, continue.
I guess that in the first act is going to be, you know, finding where these two guys are and, you know, showing you that they're still being weird and having their sexual weird stuff. And suddenly he takes the turn to, well, will you marry me? And he's making it all extravaganza and shit because that's how the character is.
So you're saying the proposal happens on screen on this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think that was on the trailer when he brings out the ring.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's
right.
going to be like that, you know, like establishing how it has been the life of these characters since the second movie and then making this huge change for saying something where now they're committed and now they're planning the wedding and they're making something huge and he's giving her the dress like
Hanging on the chandelier.
yeah, that's weird. I don't understand why would you do that.
Yeah, not even from a film point of view, like, why would you shoot the dress
And I guess
there?
I'm guessing it's part of one of the kink scenes, you know?
yeah.
Like you're on your honeymoon and you hang your girl in the fucking chandelier. Like, what the fuck? dude?
But there was someone really in the dress when she was when it was like
I don't know,
Hey,
man, but
I don't know. It is
well,
possible. Man.
yeah.
it could happen.
Yeah.
But yes, honeymoon. I do believe that is like the
The first
act.
scene of the
Yeah, yeah.
transition between first and second act.
This
Where, I mean, I hope I am wrong. Well, I don't know if I hope because I'm not even sure if I'm gonna see this movie. But I do believe that the only kinky stuff scene or sequence will be the one of the honeymoon.
No.
That's the last we were gonna see.
no.
I don't think
there's
so.
no way.
No?
No.
There's
I mean,
gonna be at least 5 or 6 scenes.
you know, like before the engagement, there's going to be one.
Okay,
When-
before yes, but
Yeah. But they get engaged and they're like, oh well, let's do this weird
Let's
thing
celebrate.
that I have. Then before the wedding, like they're already dressed up for this shit, and he's like, I can keep it in my pants. I'm going to hit you. And she's like, yeah, hit me. And boom, there goes the wedding, the party of the wedding. They again start hitting each other and like, oh yeah, bro. Then I think this will be all the honeymoon where they're like, well, let's go to this place and I'm going to hit you with this and then I'm going to hit you with this other thing in
And then
another
I'm going
place.
to hang you in the fucking chandelier. Like, what the
Yeah, like it can't stop there. Okay, like they're going to get married now. They're going to have a big ass house. You've seen it in the trailer.
yeah,
there's going to
the
be like
blonde girl.
yeah, there's
yeah.
going to be this blonde girl. Like it's kind of an antagonist against this other girl because she's doing everything that this girl did when she met Dorian. I don't know his name.
No, Dorian Gray is from
Yeah.
another
I mean-
book series, man.
I don't know how to call him, but saying Mr. Grey it's kind of weird for me. So
But hey,
I'm going
man,
to call him.
hey, man. Now we have a Mrs. Gray as well,
Oh fuck.
and they make it pretty clear in the trailer. Like she's all, you know, I used to be like this average girl that nobody on the right mind like paid attention to. But hey, I'm now like the wife of the Mr. G. I own your ass.
But the thing about this is like maybe she's thinking he's gonna get tired of her, you know, like well now that I'm his wife, I have a title and it's not as
Close.
sexy,
Oh.
I guess.
Okay.
Like having a relationship with your assistant or whatever. So she's going to have to do this more kinky stuff in order to keep him, you know, like to distract him from the blonde girl.
Okay.
That's why the kinky stuff can't
Okay.
stop.
So you're saying our first antagonist is the blonde girl,
Yeah.
the
So
architect. It sounds plausible, but hey, I know something in this like the transition to the second act, the awful reveal of the trailer, the last fragments of the trailer that says,
yeah.
"Oh, you're pregnant." That's gonna be like, you're gonna have honeymoon. You're gonna do kinky stuff. Then you're gonna have like a transition scene where time has gone by.
or
And then
they
it's
are
like-
back from the honeymoon.
Yeah, precisely.
Whatever.
And it's gonna be like, well, you know all that kinky stuff you've done? Yes, you're pregnant. Oh man. And
She's like, oh fuck, how am I
Literally.
supposed to do kinky stuff if I'm pregnant?
exactly, and that's
We can do
like,
kinky. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get into that.
yes, and maybe that would play like, well, that would have a not so weird dynamic with what you were saying of she has to do kinky stuff, but now she's pregnant and maybe she can't do so many things, and it's like, oh man,
But it's
I'm
weird.
gonna lose it, man.
I don't think it comes so early in the film, you know, like maybe in the middle part of the second act. Because
Okay.
she's going to start doing all this weird stuff and whatever. And she's suddenly going to have like, oh shit, I know what's the best way to keep this guy in like my bed, I guess. In our bed.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
Let's
also
do it
think
like
like the baby, she might just as well use the baby to keep the guy, you know. Like she might be convinced that the baby is that artifact that will keep Mr. Grey with her forever.
I
But
don't
it's like
think
9
that-
months without sex.
Yeah,
Maybe less, but
It's like
it's
5?
9 months, 5, 6 months.
6.
Okay,
Alright,
6
yeah,
months
6
without
months.
having sex, and clearly he's not going to be able to hit you like he used to, because now you have a thing inside you, and if he hits too hard,
Imagine-
he's going to be like, well,
Like-
now we fucked our baby.
Well,
Now-
You know,
there's no there's no baby left.
yeah, it's going to be weird. I mean, she's going to be like, well, I want to have sex, but I want to have this baby, maybe.
Because human rights and
Yeah, whatever.
something like that.
And he's going to be like, well, I want to hit you. Yeah, and she's like, well, hit me, but not that hard. But I want to hit you.
Like me
Really
turn
hard.
around and put like some
Yeah,
pillows
it's
in my
gonna be
belly.
weird, you know. And he's going to be like, well, I have that blonde, big ass girl downstairs, so
I should hit her,
fuck
right?
you. And then there is this weird scene with the, I think, ex.
Oh yeah, the
I mean,
mysterious
he
call.
can't come in the third act. That would be a wasted character. So
But
he's going to come at the beginning of the second one.
okay,
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be before she knows that she has a baby.
I was gonna say he comes right after that. I mean, like she gets out of the clinic and it's like, oh, I have a phone call. Who is? Oh man, it is you, character we have not introduced yet, or maybe
He's
we
going to
have.
be the
I don't
ex.
know.
I mean, it's going to be like, hey, I want to take you back, girl. Like, maybe he's like an ex-boyfriend who is super jealous and he doesn't know that she's married yet, or maybe he does now, but...
And he's like, I want to hit you, but you don't know how to hit me. Well, I can learn.
And he
Fuck.
buys the
And then she has
the
a
Mr.
gun.
Grey tutorials. Oh yes.
What the fuck? Where's this thing going?
Why is
I mean,
everyone carrying guns in the trailer?
And why is
Yeah.
she carrying it there?
Because
mean-
that's the average way to carry a gun. I mean, you're
But
not
I mean-
going to have it in your
Belly?
no,
Fucking
In your
boobs,
pregnant belly?
in your boobs or you,
No,
you, I would
Within
expect
your
her
pants
to-
and is, are you happy to see me? You won't be.
No, I mean, that's literally where every character puts the gun in their asses. It's weird, but they do it
I
all
mean,
the time.
It can have real serious implications, but go on.
No, that's why you have a
Luck.
luck against
Shooting.
shooting your stupid gun. But the thing is, why do you need to have this character shooting a gun? It's completely useless. She can literally buy security. Have this big ass bodyguard that keeps her safe. I mean, I think she already does have one of those. But she's like, oh no, character development. I need to have a gun and I need to run and drive and fuck it.
I'm calling the
Why?
shots here, man. Here's what I'm thinking. They get married, man. This mysterious guy, possibly his ex-boyfriend, whatever, comes. He somehow kidnaps Gray or Dorian Gray. We don't remember the name, though. I'm pretty sure he's not Dorian. And he kidnapped him. And then she's like, oh man,
Gotta
I am an
rescue
empowered woman and I'm gonna rescue my husband. And she like goes John Wick on their asses or something like that. Like a really
Bro.
cheap John Wick. And once
Don't put John Wick in
yeah,
this,
no, I'm sorry.
please.
I'm sorry, John Wick, don't kill me. But she like gets there, she gets rid of the guy, of the ex, and then she's like, I could kill him and get all the money.
No, that's not gonna happen.
And that's why she's Mrs. Grey, man. Like the cycle begins again, but with her as the
Dominant figure.
exactly the kinky obsessed character
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know.
or something like that.
I'm thinking what's going to happen towards the end of the film is Mr. Grey is
Yeah.
going to go with the blonde girl, right?
Okay,
Because
Pregnant.
he can't hit
cheating.
his pregnant woman. Okay? So Anastasia is going to be like, hey, I have to go kill my ex-boyfriend before he does something to me or to my baby, right?
Okay,
So that's why she grabs the gun and she
Yeah.
goes to wherever the boyfriend is to kill him, right? Or to threaten him so he don't attack her and his child and her child. So there's gonna be this scene where Mr. Grey is with the blonde girl, but he's suddenly going to realize like, hey, I can't do this to my pregnant woman, I can cheat on her. So he's gonna go and suddenly a call is gonna come in and it's gonna be like, hey Christian, I'm in trouble, I'm kidnapped. And then he's gonna go and there's gonna be this epic fight and epic car chase between
oh
the
yes,
two
the
guys.
car chase.
No, I think that's Anastasia.
Yeah, Anastasia there.
Okay, I think that's the girl because it's her movie. It's not about
Yeah.
Mr. Grey, it's about Mrs. Grey. It sounds kind of dumb.
Weird.
But she's gonna be escaping or whatever. We didn't see that much of Mr. Grey. Like
In the
almost
trailer?
yeah. Almost all the shots are like, well, this is our new house, and this is our jet, and these are our cars, and this is my back having sex with you, and muscles because we're having sex, and I'm hitting you, and that's it. I mean, we saw Anastasia like in her Sunday clothes, where she's wearing a sweater, whatever.
Okay, yes.
And we saw her having fights and whatever, and she's going to the baby. We saw way too much of her, and I think the movie is
Building up
obviously
to
it's
that.
like it's all around her. Now this guy is not as important as it used to be. I mean, he's still important because he's the love of her life and whatever.
For
But
some
now
reason.
It's the story about this girl trying to make things serious, kinda. I'm not sure. Like, fuck it. I mean,
Because
in the
love, man.
in the end, she's going to stay with the guy and she's going to have a baby, and because
I don't think so. I think either the guy or someone is gonna die.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
someone's
ex-boyfriend.
gonna die. What about the baby, man?
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
the
the
baby
baby
dies.
dies. The baby dies and she becomes like this evil or like antagonic character. Like
I think she
Dominant.
can become
Yes.
like Mr. Grey at the beginning of the first one,
exactly something like
where
that
he has no attachment
to
to
anything.
anyone. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm
So
guessing
that
something
that
like
can
that.
happen.
I mean, I'm here asking you as well. What will you think will be like the last scene, last frame? I believe it's gonna be like Mrs. Gray. The poster. No, there's like an image of her turning around, and I think something like that's gonna be like Miss Gray will see you now, and that's like the end of the movie because, you know,
Yeah, she's now an
poetic
empowered
justice. I don't know, some sort of thing like that. But wait, now to the fun part. What would you like to see like goofing around? What is like something you would expect?
Wrong hole. You know, like she's certainly screaming, "Wrong hole, wrong hole!"
But-
That would be way too out of character. You know, like she would like it and enjoy it.
Yes, exactly. I understand. She has had more things in there that exactly.
Fuck.
But what will you say, man?
I'm thinking, in the end,
Yes.
she kills Mr. Grey, and she becomes a dominant lesbian, right?
A dominatrix.
The
Yeah, something like that. And the very final scene is like Mrs. Grey will
We'll see you.
We'll see you now.
Uh-huh.
right, and there is another innocent assistant girl going into the office.
Oh, you know, I sort of like that, man, and I think that's why. This is why I was going with she kills Gray. No, like
Or maybe the Gray and the baby die, and she's like, well,
Yeah, maybe
fuck people now.
she gets shot, the baby dies, the ex-boyfriend and Grey kill each other. So it's like
yeah. I mean, I can totally see that going on. Like the ex-boy, she has the gun, but she doesn't know how to use it, so she loses it, and she's somehow bleeding to death and whatever. Then Mr. Grey comes, and then it's like this standoff where this
a
motherfucker.
Mexican standoff.
Yeah, a Mexican standoff all the way, where the ex-boyfriend kills Grey, and she's like, "Oh no! Now that everyone's dead, I'm going to be powerful and know how to use a gun." So she takes the gun somehow and kills the ex-boyfriend, and it's okay because the other guy was
Evil.
evil. She's not evil, although she likes
She's a
getting hit.
woman.
she likes power, right?
Exactly. She
like-
likes power.
So Mr. Grey is dead. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And-
convinced he will die.
She somehow gets to the hospital and they're like, well, we have good news and bad news. She's like, what are the
Bad
good news? Well, the good news are that you're still alive. And now you have a lot of money because your husband is dead. Oh yeah, oh no, who's gonna hit me now? And what are the bad news? Well, the bad news are that
You
you're
lost
going
the
to be
baby.
you're not going to be a MILF because you don't have a baby anymore.
Woo! Celebration party!
Yeah, you know,
Suddenly she
like-
celebrates.
Wait, that means now I can get hit. Woo! And she's going to have this face like, oh shit, I'm all alone now.
No, dude.
Now I must take the job of my husband.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see that going on.
No, but yes, you have a really interesting point. The whole point of this last movie is she cannot be hit and she wants to be hit again.
Totally.
But
Oh.
now, wait, let's think of this. Imagine she has the baby, alright?
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't think they're gonna go this way, but it's part of the stupid thoughts. We have a flash forward, and like kind of Harry Potter at the end, that you see the kid grown up. How do you think if it was a boy? How do you think the kid would turn out?
Fucked up, man. I mean,
Do you think he would be like a weird version of his dad, and he would be like in kindergarten trying to lift the skirts of
Dude,
No,
that would be
his classmates? You know, like he's messed up, man.
Dude,
I think they would like keep the kinky stuff to a minimum, but you know, it's sex. You can keep it in your pants.
Speaking of life with the kid in the house,
Yeah. Like sometimes they're like, "Well, Timmy, you gotta go to school. I gotta hit your mom. I mean, I gotta go to work."
but it's Saturday, Daddy.
You know, kids are always looking for whatever is in their parents' closet, and
Dude,
suddenly he finds this shit, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, like, Mr. Gray's playroom becomes a literal playroom. I mean, like, he has
Yeah,
board
playroom
games
for the-
and consoles,
Something
man.
are still hitting because it's
Like,
kinky stuff. You
yeah.
can't get rid of all the kinky stuff. So maybe there are pictures of Mr. Gray hitting Mrs. Gray, and Kid Gray is like,
Daddy,
shit!
why is mommy in this position and
No.
appears to be crying?
Next day he goes to school.
And they start having the talk like, well, I used to beat your mom. Like you used to before you were married? No, like
Like
two,
hit your
2
mom.
minutes ago I was hitting her.
Because she
Wait,
likes to be hit.
She
But-
likes it rough,
But why
kid.
didn't she scream? Well, I put a weird ball inside her mouth. So that's what you
like
did.
the balls I play with, like in the park, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Football,
I mean,
baseball.
it's fucked up.
Yes, I mean, like, what kind of kid can grow out of said relationship? And now, think it wasn't a boy. What if
A
it
girl.
was a girl, man?
Well, that's more fucked up.
That's more fucked up. Dude,
And-
like, Daddy, are you gonna hit me today?
So, yes, that's how do you like?
That's more like a porn.
And really obscene,
A really
sick
fucked up
one. Yes,
porn.
but that raises many questions. I mean, like, could Mr. Gray punish his children, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like spank
totally.
them without any other sort of thoughts, you know? Or is it really like complicated because of his mental state?
I don't know, dude, but the following scene would just be
I think
hilarious.
he would be a really bad parent. You know,
Well, of course, man.
one that doesn't punish his sons. He's like, well, you got expelled. It doesn't matter. I have all the fucking money in the world, so you can go to many other schools. I don't give a shit. And he's never home, okay? So that maybe makes his sons, his daughter, his son, whatever, grow up to be a guy that is always looking forward to calling the attention of his dad, and maybe his mom is home, but she's like, your dad doesn't hit me anymore. What? No, nothing.
I mean, like, this could grow into some weird expanded universe. I mean,
No,
to
no,
hell,
no.
Star Wars, man. I want, like, 80 movies of the 50 Shades franchise that speak of all this, man. Well, I
50 Shades
actually
of
don't.
Grey, 50 Shades of...
Grey Jr.
Yeah, like, fuck, man.
Yeah, no, that would be dumb, but hey, that's part of the segment. So, any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I don't know, dude. The franchise in general it's not good, but
I just know, man, that if they happen to have twins, and one's a boy and one's a girl, you have a Cersei Lannister issue
yeah.
going on there. That would be like the most likely scenario if that were the case. What about you, Dan?
I wanna forget about this, man.
You want to forget about this?
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. Fortunately, we don't have to foreshadow any other 50 Shades movie again, nor anything related. I think next year will be more of your interest, but hey, for now, that would be all. Remember to subscribe, share, and anything else that people usually do when they like videos. Help us get a broader audience. And if you have any comments, suggestion, or think we should know about the movie we just tried to foreshadow and criticize, remember, we are just speculating. We have nothing against these people. And that would be all. Thanks for listening. See you next week.